Why people don't like to take chances. We're taught from a very early stage by our parents to be careful. We're told to look both ways before crossing the street and not to eat what's unfamiliar. Most parents want their kids to live beyond their years, and this requires teaching them to be cautious about many things. It was the same for their parents, and so on down the line. This is one of the biggest reasons why we don't take chances. It's all about self-preservation and keeping the family going generation after generation. But there are other reasons that we don't like to take chances. Societies have rules that its citizens must follow. Failure to do so can lead us to be thrown in jail. And even if what we contemplate is legal because we've been adhering to all the rules all our lives, this tends to add to our cautious state of being. We hesitate to take chances because these rules are ingrained into our lives. We also tend to follow the crowd, and there are studies to back this up. We have a herd mentality. If you're on a busy city street and you look up in the sky for a long period of time, you'll find more and more people gather around to see exactly what you're looking at. There may be nothing of importance up there. They just want to know what the attraction is. So it is with taking chances. If no one else has done it before, most of us are probably not going to take the plunge. As previously mentioned, we want to see others experience something before we decide to go for it ourselves. This is why people look to product reviews and forums before they make purchases online. They want to know that others have successfully purchased and used products or services without problems. These reasons that we don't like to take chances are really just mental blocks that have been put in place. They put up a proverbial stop sign anytime we encounter something that doesn't sit well with us. This leads us to create excuses as to why something shouldn't be done. The biggest problem is that these barriers took a lifetime to build up, so breaking them down is never an easy task. We first have to have the belief that they can be broken down before we allow ourselves to do so. Don't like taking chances? Try hiring a coach. Most people avoid taking chances like the plague. It leaves them vulnerable to making the wrong choice and sets them up for ridicule. This reason often keeps people from taking chances. Many times, taking these chances is the answer to living a happier life. So, if you're not very good at taking chances yourself, and if that can mean being happier, does this mean you're doomed to being unhappy, or at least not as happy as you could be? Unfortunately for many people, it means just that. They'll never get themselves out of their rut because they don't want to take the steps to make their lives better. If you really want to separate yourself from the crowd, but you're not very good at taking risks, then consider hiring a coach. Find someone who has experience in what you want to do and has taken the chance themselves to make it happen. This person can work with you to come up with a plan that can get you where you want to be. The best part is since they already went through it, they can guide you through the process. When choosing a coach, the key is to make sure you can verify that they not only have talked the talk, but have walked the walk too. There are plenty of people that'll pass themselves off as coaches when all they ever did was read a few books on Amazon and proclaim themselves experts on a particular subject. You see that all the time with people who claim they can help you write a book and make it a bestseller. Yet, when you look at their own books listed on Amazon, they have no bestsellers of their own. That's a huge disconnect and a major red flag. It's easy to see what a book's sales rank is in Amazon. But what if you're dealing with some other kind of situation that isn't related to becoming a bestseller? How can you judge potential coaches then? You need to ask a lot of questions and have them show you any applicable work that they've done. If they've coached other people, ask to speak with those people along with examples of the work the coaches did for them. Do a search on the internet to see if any negative stories pop up surrounding the coaches you speak with. Above all, use your intuition as a guide to feel out the people that you're considering. Taking chances for bigger thrills. People want to be safe in everything they experience. We always want to see if others experience something before we decide to pursue that experience ourselves. But the very idea of staying safe can actually bring us to a point of not living the life we really want to live. Take skydiving, for instance. Many people would shy away from jumping out of an airplane as they fear the parachute won't open when it's supposed to. Even having a reserve or emergency parachute will not change their minds, and there have certainly been instances where both the main parachute and the reserve did not open and the skydiver plunged to his or her death. So why do people do such things as skydiving or mountain climbing, etc.? The answer is because they get a thrill from doing it. Many will call it a head rush, but it means the same thing. Natural thrill seekers and daredevils never seem to have a problem with the risks associated with these activities. But for everyone else, it can take a lot to muster up the courage and go on a thrill-seeking adventure. If you want to break through this, the way to do it is to choose activities that don't have as high a perceived risk. For instance, many indoor rock climbing facilities harness the participants such that if they slip, the harness will keep them from falling to the ground. The thrill can still be there for these less risky activities, and it's often a great stepping stone for moving on to higher risk thrills. A portion of taking chances or not is part of a person's traits. As mentioned previously, some people are naturally prone to taking big chances, while others would never conceive of doing such things. However, we all have the ability to push ourselves past our own traits. Often this is accomplished with the help of friends that are thrill seekers themselves. Since they have experience in various thrill-seeking activities and are still alive to talk about it, you may feel more at ease when trying them out for yourself when those friends are with you. They can also answer any questions you have about the activities that you may not be clear on. Whether you'll ever make it to daredevil status and whether you should depends on several factors, including your own personality. But consider pushing yourself to a place where you take chances that you normally wouldn't take. It can be the thrill of a lifetime. Taking chances on a new career. People find jobs they're suited for when they're young. At least they believe they found the right kind of job. But as they progress, many feel disillusioned with the career they chose, feeling it isn't what they thought it would be. They think about changing careers, but that often means starting over. That's a scary proposition, especially if they've been in a certain career for several years. It's likely they've climbed the corporate ladder and are earning a pretty decent salary. Starting over is sure to require a cut in pay, and that can adversely affect the life of the employee and his or her family. Taking on a new career isn't just about a cut in money either. It also means starting over as far as the pecking order of seniority that was gained after many years in the original career. This too can be an awfully scary proposition. Another factor for career changers is that they are typically older. If people do decide to switch, they tend to do it in their 40s or 50s. This means they can have as little experience in the new career as someone just starting out and younger. That can be intimidating. If you're considering a career change and you've thought about the scenarios above, you should know that there are positives you should consider with making your decision. The first is that money isn't everything. Sometimes getting out of a bad situation is enough to overcome the objection of less money. Besides, the internet makes it really easy to earn extra income, either by selling online or doing work for others. It's no longer necessary to work at a physical location when trying to earn extra money. The second factor regarding lack of experience in the new career is the fact that it'll be new for you. This can be exciting as well as scary. Think back to when you first started in your original career. Any new achievement made you feel like you could rule the world. The third factor, where you have no seniority, remind yourself that you do have work and life experience that can still be brought to the table. If you have any management experience, that can easily carry over, and you'll know how to handle adverse situations better than your younger colleagues. Staying in a career you've grown tired of can make you bitter and take years off your life. If you've thought about taking a chance and starting a new career, others have done it and have made it work. Taking chances on starting a business. Have you ever thought about starting a new business but were too afraid to take a chance on doing it? You may have thought about what a great feeling it would be to not have to answer to anyone and be your own boss. But then you think of what kind of business you'd start, and you come up blank. Even if you do have a concept in mind, you know that if you take the plunge, you no longer have that steady income stream that you've come to depend on. This is a tough situation to overcome. The internet has made life much easier for anyone wanting to start a new business. Before the internet, starting a business meant either buying or creating a brick-and-mortar business. This meant shelling out thousands of dollars with absolutely no guarantee of getting any of that money back, let alone being profitable. While an internet business doesn't guarantee success, in many cases it can be started up while you're still working at your job. This could present challenges on your time, but at least it's plausible. You can continue to work your job and build your online business at the same time. This has the advantage of seeing results and watching the online business grow. Once you get to the point of replacing your income, you have the option of giving up your job and concentrating full-time on the online business. You'll want to take into account any kind of benefits that you'd need to replace as well. It's not just about the salary, so keep that in mind before you quit your job. Another option is to continue to work for a little while and outsource many of the online business duties to someone else. This frees up your time to continue planning the online business to grow, and it keeps your income flowing. If you're finally able to leave your job, but you run into some slowdowns in your online business, it will happen. Be aware that you can work side jobs either online or locally in your town. There are plenty of freelance jobs available that you can pick up some extra income whenever needed. If you've ever wanted to start an online business but were unwilling to take a chance, you should be aware that it has never been easier to do so, and to just go for it. Taking more chances leads to a more fulfilling life. No one ever gets anywhere if they don't take a chance. Therefore, it follows suit that you go even further in life if you take more chances. But how do you go about that, and what kind of chances should you take? Many chances you take will likely require money. If you're thinking of starting a new business or making some kind of business investment, you'll need an outlay of cash. Certainly, you don't want to take your life savings to Vegas in hopes of doubling your money. The odds are you'll lose all your money. You also never want to take chances with money that you'll need for basic living expenses and for short-term emergencies. Money could be one reason why people don't take more chances. But if you do your homework, you may discover that when you go for whatever it is you seek, it may pay off quite well. The alternative is that you don't take the chance and you're guaranteed no results whatsoever. People are afraid of taking chances due to fear of unknown consequences. Perhaps your company wants to relocate you to another country. It'll mean more money, but it's going to be in a country with an unfamiliar culture for you and your family. How do you overcome this fear? The first step is you need to believe in the changes that'll take place when you take the risk. If you stand strong on your belief, then you can often get others, like your family, on board. If you're hesitant, they'll pick up on that, and it'll be a tougher road to follow. According to Forbes magazine, it suggests that we over-exaggerate the risks of failure and under-exaggerate the risks of succeeding. This means that many of the chances we're faced with may actually come out in our favor. This is certainly good news and should help in our journey to take more chances. One of the worst things that happens to people is when they look back on their lives and wish they'd taken more risks. They'd love to have accomplished more with their lives. Avoiding risk may keep you safe from certain situations, but it'll never push you forward to that place outside your comfort zone. This is usually the place where you can realize your dreams.